So thank you so much for your participation in the observation charts earlier. I know we left it open-ended, a little vague, ambiguous for you, and so you were not sure what the right answer was, but that's exactly what we wanted, was for you just to start talking with your peers about something that would lead into our next unit of study. So we might use the China ones. These are from an ancient China unit that we did in a 6th and 7th grade class, and it's a great focus and motivation activity or strategy to get students to kind of get hooked in, pique their curiosity about what they're going to be learning, and also for us to find out a little bit about what they already know. And so I will debrief and let you know, but I loved your level of participation on this, and we appreciate it. So this map, the question was, did China control all of these regions before 1911 and then broke up? Another one, who gained control after 1911? Was it Sing Kang? I'm not sure how to say that. Geography map, important to read the key, and so you did, many of you did point out the map. This image shows the map of China as of 1911. Throughout most of China's history, it was ruled by powerful families called dynasties. The first dynasty was the Shang, and the last was the Qin. Ancient China also boasts the longest lasting empire in history. It began with the Qin dynasty and the first emperor who united all of China under one rule in 221 BC. So just some facts to pique students' curiosity or help them like, oh yeah, oh I heard that name before, oh I've heard of dynasties. We do not expect them to learn this on the first day. This is just something to pique their curiosity, and we will be learning more about this throughout our unit. This one is this Emperor Qin, medicine man, person of influence, Genghis Khan, happy, content, nice artwork. Where is he from? And this is Kublai Khan. He was the great Khan, the leader of all Mongol people. He gained his title in 1260 and named himself Emperor of China in 1279. Unlike most Mongols, Kublai was interested in Chinese culture. He lived in high style in lavish Chinese palaces and supported the work of Chinese artists. At the same time, Kublai remained loyal to his Mongol roots. To remind him of home, he planted grass from the northern plains in his palace garden at Beijing. He also honored his ancestors in Mongolian style. Every August, he performed a special ritual, scattering horse milk on the ground and calling out the name of his grandfather, Genghis Khan. That's right. That's that one. And the final is this currency, a receipt amount, small versus large units, foreign, maybe from Asia. This looks like a passport. I thought so too. Could be a tablet to keep count of money, different metals and stones. Is this a metal maybe? Looks like ancient scroll. And it is Chinese money. The Chinese developed the first paper money in the world. Paper money came into use in China in AD 800s. It was called flying cash because it was used for goods bought in distant regions. So rather than carrying around all the metal and gold and such, they developed paper money. They're flying cash. Okay. Tell us about yours.
Okay, so mine is an introduction to a science unit, and particularly learning and the brain. So we had this synapse. Now, I don't know if I watch too much BBC, but synapsis, synapse, I've heard it pronounced both ways. But again, I watch a lot of BBC. It could be a more of an English pronunciation. Okay, so what we said, this looks like Horton Hears a Who's feet. That's adorable. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was an anorexic
looks
elephant.
like synapses in the brain and attraction, nerve cells. Okay. All right. So this is a synapsis or a synapse, and neurons have specialized projections called dendrites and axons. Dendrites bring information to the cell body, and axons take information away from the cell body. Information from one neuron flows to another neuron across the synapse. So you can see the space in between, and that's where the action happens. The synapse contains a small gap separating neurons. The presynaptic ending that contains neurotransmitters, mitochondria, and other cell organelles. This is a postsynaptic ending that contains receptor sites for neurotransmitter, and a synaptic cleft or space between the presynaptic and postsynaptic endings. Okay? So very good. This one's always cute to listen to what people say about it. Okay. Let's see. This looks like veins inside the brain or a jellyfish. I hear that a lot. Nervous system, root system. We could see that. Let's see. And nervous system, brain. Okay, very good. So this is a depiction of the blood vessels in the brain. And over the course of a lifetime, this vast system carries about 1 million barrels of blood throughout the body. Arteries are connected to tiny, thin-walled blood vessels called capillaries, which allow oxygen to move from the blood into the cells of the body. And I don't know if any of you have seen a head wound, but all these little blood vessels are carrying a lot of blood, and head wounds tend to be really messy, okay? Even when you just have a little nick. Okay, so some of the comments were, I think of my mom, adorable.
Aww.
This makes me feel nervous. She looks young to be a doctor. And comforting, supportive, safe. So a lot of empathy read from this picture about this caregiver. Okay. MRI scans. This is magnetic resonance imaging. And MRI scans are not merely used for diagnostic purposes. Since the MRI does not use X-rays or radiation technology, they are safe enough to use for research purposes. And I'm sure a lot of us have seen healthy brains, brains of people who've used drugs. Kind of looks like Swiss cheese, little pieces missing and stuff, because not a lot of activity going on there. So also, they're widely used in scientific research to study brain activity of individuals performing certain routine activities, such as meditation or playing video games. And it looks at, what lights up when you play. Okay, thank you.
So observation charts are a great way to kind of hook students in. These photos, it's just a matter of posting 6 to 8 photos around the room for students to start exploring as teams. We do them in teams so that they have some peers to interact with. Perhaps one of them, one of our images for the Ancient China unit was the terraced rice fields, and someone may be familiar with that in a group, and I think that's rice fields, or some called them rice paddies, and just different things like that to help generate that academic language, tap into their prior knowledge, and then also hopefully to pique their interest as they're going into the unit. So this could be used for any one of the units that you're introducing, whether it be a 3-day or 4-week unit. Observation charts are a great way. As you can see on a couple of the examples, you can see that they've done this quite a bit. Some of the vocabulary is very science-y in our solar system one. It talks about we observed, we predict, things like that. So you can tell that those students have been doing that for a while. And then this one here, there's quite a few responses, many different groups. The reason for having you use the color pencil or pen from your group is we can quickly glance and see, did all of the groups get a chance to participate with that, which is what we did while you were going around. It has 3 colors. We only need 2 more that don't have 3. And so it's a quick visual for the teacher as well, and also gives you some insight into that group about some things they already know or some questions that they might have. And during the course of the unit, our intent is to answer those questions or verify some of those understandings, as we'll elaborate a little bit later in the inquiry chart.